Welcome to the Fox 17 Rock Interview. I'm hanging out with the multi-talented Sammy Kershaw. Huge hits from the 90s, singer, songwriter, entertainer. He's going to have a book coming out this fall, which we're going to talk about as well. But, you know, right now he has a new album that came out last Tuesday, I Won't Back Down. And Sammy, talk a little bit about this, because you and I were discussing the great artists that played with you and the incredible song choices on here.
Well, I went through a lot of songs. I was surprised to find that many good songs, to be honest with you. You know, I hadn't been played at radio in a long time. And those songwriters want their songs to get cut by artists who are getting played at radio, you know.
Right.
So I was pretty lucky to get a lot of great songs. And then when I did this album deal, the only stipulation in it was that I had to redo two songs, cover two songs that were hit years ago.
Yeah.
And of course, on every album, I always do that anyway, so
right.
I didn't mind at all.
But you always pick such good ones, and you were saying that Daryl was sort of kidding you about that.
Yeah, he was. On stage the other night, I did Third Rate Romance, and of course, that ended up being a big old record for me. And Chevy Van and Baby's Got a Blue Jeans On, and there was a few more of those songs. But anyway, he said, you kind of have, on stage, he said, you kind of have a knack for picking those songs to redo. And he said, what is the secret? I said, there is no secret. The only thing I do is go in and we record the music
right.
identical to what it was years ago, because that's what made the people, the music got the people moving
right.
to it. The only thing I do is add another vocal, a different vocal.
But, you know,
that's
your
all,
voice is so
man.
unique, Sammy, and I think, you know, listening to this and obviously, you know, seeing you in concert, like we're talking back at the Sykeston Boot Hill Rodeo back in the 90s, it's like this album sounds a lot like your big hits from back in the 90s.
Well, you know, the 90s to me, 90s country music, man, we were rocking back then.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we used to sell 1 million albums, not 1 million singles.
Right, right.
You know, we were rocking, man. The 90s, there was some great artists. You had Aaron Tippin and Joe Diffie, and you had Pam Tillis and Brooks and Dunn.
And you.
All those folks, man. We were rocking and rolling, and we had a great time. It was great music, you know, and the writers were loving what they were doing.
Right.
Well,
we were talking about one of your great songs on here, too, Send In the Rodeo Clowns.
Well, Send In the Rodeo Clowns was sent to me probably 21 years ago. Every time I would go to record a brand new album, they would send me that song again, and send it again, and send it again. And I always liked the song, but it never made an album.
Right.
But I always kept that song. And when I was doing this album, I revisited that song again, and I said, this time I'm going to cut
It's an
song.
incredible take. Now, tell me the story also, because, you know, you had a big hit with Queen of My Double Wide.
I did.
And so now, what was the song that you missed out on that was on that same demo?
Well, you know, Dennis Lindy wrote Send In the Rodeo Clowns, and he also wrote Queen of My Double Wide Trailer.
Right.
Well, in 1994, he had 5 big old hit records. I remember 4 of them. One of them I don't quite remember. But Shenandoah had Janie Baker's Love Slave.
Right.
Mark Chestnut had Bubba Shot the Jukebox. I had Queen of My Double Wide Trailer. There was another one. And then I remember hearing this song one morning on the radio, and I thought to myself, man, I love that record. I wish I'd have got that, you know? So about 2 years later, I'm going down the road with my wife, and the song comes on the radio 2 years later, and I said, boy, I wish I'd have got that song. She said, you did. I said, what do you mean I did? She said, well, I didn't want to tell you, and Buddy didn't want to tell you because we knew you'd be mad. But when they sent you Queen of My Double Wide Trailer, there was 2 songs on that CD. Buddy kept Double Wide Trailer for you, and he let the other one go. And that other one was John Deere Green.
John Deere Green.
Diffie got it.
Diffie, oh
and then
my
I
gosh.
found out Diffie didn't like the song.
Now, you know, I think what's unique, too, and we were talking earlier, to where you're doing more producing now. You produced a few albums, but you produced this entire album, Sammy.
Yes. Look, I like it. I kind of...
And you're working with some other artists. You were telling me about a young gal up in Canada.
I'm working with a Canadian girl right now, man. Her name is Mallory Johnson. And this girl can sing, man. I'm talking about sing.
Wow.
When they first called me and asked me if I might be interested in producing an album on her, I said, I need to hear her first. And of course, they didn't have anything from a studio. They said, well, you can go listen to her on YouTube. So I went to YouTube, and it's live, and the girl sang on pitch. Everything was on pitch.
Wow.
I called them back. I said, I'd love to work with her.
That's
and
incredible.
then once we cut the tracks, and then once I got her down to Muscle Shows to do the vocals, I'm all in now.
Yeah.
The girl can sing, man.
Well, and I think it's great too that an artist of your caliber is helping out young artists that are trying to come up and trying to get a footing. And so, you know, and we were talking earlier about your book too that's going to be coming out. Now, what's the name of the book going to be?
The Route That I Took.
And so that's going to be some unique stories and a gospel album with it.
Yes, I'm fixing to go in the studio and produce a gospel album that I'm going to package with the book. The route that I took is probably not what people are expecting. So there'll be probably a couple of big surprises people are going to find out about in the fall.
Well, now, where can people find out about you on tour? You know, I know you tour all the time with a lot of your buddies, with Aaron and with Joe and everybody. Where's the best place, on web or Facebook?
Man, you know, Facebook, of course, I run my own Facebook.
You can tell it's great.
And I have fun with it. I don't let anybody else on it. I keep saying that the day that I die, you won't see another post on my Facebook page.
That's it.
You know, that's it. It'll be over. It'll be done. They'll have to spread it through everybody else's pages because mine won't have another post, you know.
So Facebook, and now do you have a new website?
And we have
too?
SammyKershaw.com. We
Okay.
still have that. You can go
Good.
there. And of course, you can go to theagencygroup.com. That's our booking agent, and they post all of the shows that are coming up everywhere.
Well, now,
but we're
and
working a lot, man.
Well, you are, and I'll tell you what, this new album, like I said, I just can't get enough of it, Sammy. You know,
Good.
listening to it in my car, you know, I Won't Back Down, which just went on sale last Tuesday. And as I told your PR guy, I think Grillin' and Chillin' is going to be a huge hit for you. I got a good feeling with that one.
I don't know about a huge hit, but I hope we get a little bit of airplay anyway. You
Yeah,
know,
well, you
it's
definitely-
kind of hard for us to get a little bit of radio play nowadays, but that's okay. You know, I always say you can't knock success, and
Right.
and those guys are having a lot of success with what they're doing today. You know, it's just not for me anyway.
But you know what? A lot of that foundation was set from artists like you in the 90s.
Yeah.
And to where I don't think you would have some of the newer country music now.
But our
without
foundation
you.
was set before that by
Right.
Jones and Haggard,
Right.
and you know, and Hank Williams and even Hank Jr. You know, a lot of people today don't even know Jr. had a dad.
Right. Right, exactly. But I think you always got to go back to your roots, and I think great
Yes.
artists like you help do that.
I think country music's going to take a turn back to closer to traditional country music
I
really
agree.
soon. I really think it will.
I think you're right.
It's just poised to do that right now. You know, you got to remember, I was a fan before I started having hit records. I'm still a fan.
Right.
So I know what I miss.
Yeah.
I miss country music, and the fans out there miss country music too.
I agree.
And
I
that's
agree.
just, you know, but like I said, I'm not knocking
No,
anybody.
not at all.
They're having a lot of success.
Right.
And I'm happy for them because I remember when I was having the success, I was happy as I could be. And,
Yeah.
you know, but things kind of change every now and then. But I think you'll start seeing a little bit more traditional country music sprinkled in.
I think you will
as we go along here.
And
pretty soon.
I think people will be sprinkling in this one on the radio with "I Won't Back Down," an excellent new album from Sammy Kershaw, and I can't wait to check out the book and the gospel album that comes out this fall.
You'd be surprised.
Be sure and see Sammy Kershaw on the road. Find him on Facebook or on his web channel, and be sure and go out and check out this new album, "I Won't Back Down." Thanks for watching the Rockin' Review.